The year is 2008. At a long marble table, a group of beautiful executives consider their options. Their objective? To reinvigorate one of the biggest brands in the world. To do something that will potentially change the world. From the shadows, a deep voice rumbles. Why don't we call it Pasta Hut? Someone gasps. They know the game has changed forever. So, why am I talking about Pasta Hut? Well, firstly, it's the best of the 3 intros I've tried so far, and secondly, it's kind of what Sega have done with Judgment. They've taken the core of an existing brand and tried to pivot to get a new audience, but ultimately, they may have actually lost some of their more casual customers. Which is a shame, because except for a few very small missteps, Judgment is easily one of the best games I've played this year. Judgment follows Takayuki Yagami, former lawyer and current private detective, as he unravels the mystery behind a series of serial killings in Kamurocho. After a troubled childhood and a brief flirtation with the Tojo clan, Yagami is a character who has seen the seedy underbelly of Tokyo and is ready to help those in need.
Yagami Takayuki wa
His noble spirit is the mirror of series Goliath Kazuma Kiryu, but his motivation and his methods are different. Kazuma is a hammer, Yagami is a scalpel. This change in attitude extends across the whole game. While there's a lot of fighting to be done, Yagami's main tool is his investigative mindset. While hunting for the serial killer, nicknamed the Mole, or chasing down a serial groper, Yagami will deploy various skills to find clues and reach a solution. Taking the form of mini-games, the game does a reasonably good job in mixing up the activities, varying from following a suspect from a distance, doing a close examination of a crime scene, or even using a drone to take sneaky wee pictures of canoodling adulterers. The simplicity of each activity might frustrate those looking for more depth, but I found them to be fun little distractions and a nice break from the constant fighting of the main series. Talking about the combat, I think this might be where you'll either jump for joy because the fighting feels fresh and new, or you'll pine for the days of big old face stomps and upgradable weapons. Yagami has 2 forms to rely on: crane style for taking on big groups and tiger style for one-on-one fights, and you can easily swap between the 2 as you fight. While Yagami isn't exactly a weakling, his strength lies in his speed and acrobatics. You'll be jumping off walls and leaping over thugs constantly, turning fights into big, fast, messy affairs reminiscent of your dad in bed. There's a little delay in the fight starting, so sprinting into a big group of bad lads and delivering a big kick feels practically seamless. To begin with, the encounters feel quite rare, so it can take a while to really get a feel for both styles. But as you progress and piss off more people, the number of enemies increases and some tough punks will start trying to ruin your day. Personally, I prefer fighting using the tiger style. It hits hard and fast, and as you upgrade your moves, you don't feel like you're at a disadvantage against groups. You can find manuals and QR codes throughout the game that will help you increase your range of moves, but until you unlock the ability to find them using your phone in Chapter 6, you're best off consulting a guide for them, as I'd found 2 in about 20 plus hours, and that's 2 of approximately 50. In our previous reviews and in practically every recorded discussion we've had about the Yakuza games, we've always raved about Kamurocho, the Metroplex to Kazuma's Optimus Prime. It felt like a living, breathing city, changing slowly over the series. Businesses open and close, some areas get renovated while others fall into decay. Judgment moves Kamurocho forward while focusing on the people of the area. Now going into a restaurant can lead to a friendship, side cases and a full belly, which is win-win-win in my book. Friends can help you learn new moves or skills and can assist while fighting, if you're close enough to the wee area. Some of your pals even wander about Kamurocho and can help boost your heat gauge while just saying hi. It's a nice little system and just another wee step forward for one of my favourite places in any video game. I think your mileage with the game is really going to come down to what you're looking for and what brings you to the Yakuza series as a whole. If you're all about the fighting and the ongoing struggles of the Tojo clan, then I'm going to be honest, I think you're going to probably be a bit disappointed. The game takes a little while to get going, and it does seem to heap misery upon misery on its lead character, from his tragic backstory to the event that causes him to to quit his job as a lawyer. The story is pretty heavy at times, and even the side cases, usually a space for more levity, can lead to some unpleasant situations. Yagami lives within a very grey world, compared to the fairly black and white world of Kazuma, where money can dictate your next steps more than an unerring sense of morality. Judgment might just have the best selection of distractions yet, from playing arcade versions of Virtua Fighter 5 and Fighting Vipers, to an amazingly realistic and very difficult pinball table, and the brilliant and weird Camera of the Dead, a very gentle piss take of Yakuza Dead Souls. The VR game unlocked in Chapter 4 is amazing too, a genuine surprise alongside the usual darts and batting cages. Sadly, there's no bowling or karaoke this time around, but there's so much to do that they're barely missed. To be honest, I feel like I could talk about Judgment all day, but I'm pretty sure Joe will lose the rag with me if this review goes on for any longer. What I will say is that Judgment stands as a great palate cleanser for those of us who've been playing all the Yakuza games as they've been released in the West. I mean, if you include the Fist of the North Star game, we've had 5 Yakuza games released over here in the space of 2 years. That's a lot of face stomping. Judgment shows that the Yakuza team can pivot into a new genre with more confidence and polish than ever before, and that they don't need to rely on Uncle Kazuma anymore. It bodes very well for Shin Yakuza that the team are so willing to refresh the format, while also acknowledging and building on the foundation that we've come to love. At the start of this review, I said that Judgment was like Pasta Hut, but that's pretty unfair and also blatantly untrue. Dead Souls was the fucking Pasta Hut, no doubt about it. Judgment is more of a semi-successful offshoot of an already brilliant product. It's the fiery iron brew of video games. It didn't make you forget about original brew, and it certainly didn't replace it in your affections, but it was a pleasant change that didn't leave a nasty taste in your mouth. Unless you hate ginger, in which case, this was all for nothing.